25 Best PSP Action Adventure Games. Number 25, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 consists of more than 19 loosely interconnected levels which touch on the main story points of the movie. While the content is rather limited since it's partly a movie adaptation, the presentation of this game is impressive. Overall, it's a great Spider-Man game with impressive graphics and exciting boss fights, but a little lacking in terms of content. Number 24, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. The PSP version of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is practically identical to the console version with some minor differences. Most of the gameplays follow what Harry did in the movie, like flying off with a broom with a dragon in pursuit. All in all, this game does a good job of emulating the experience of the movie. Number 23, Prince of Persia Revelations. Prince of Persia Revelations is basically a port of Warrior Within, with a few extra levels tacked on to lengthen the single-player campaign. The graphics are impressive for a portable game with a lot of environmental details and good details in the character models. Overall, this is a great iteration, but it has some serious bugs that hamper the experience. Number 22, Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Corpse Party Book of Shadows is a first-person survival game with binaural 3D audio with Japanese voices and dozens of endings. Despite a somewhat tedious gameplay, Corpse Party Book of Shadows is a rare example of a horror game that actually tries to frighten you.
Give me my camera!
Number 21, Obscure the Aftermath. Obscure the Aftermath picks up the story as a few of the survivors of the original game, now college students, must deal with a strange black flower spreading all over their campus. Overall, it's a good game, great in presentation, but lacking in certain parts of gameplay and story.
Here lies
Number 20, Manhunt 2. Manhunt 2 is a good fit on the PSP, and part of this has to do with the clarity of the screen, which makes execution moves look crisper than they do on consoles. If you like a good, sneaky adventure, you'll find a lot to chew on here.
He'll help me. This is insane. Go on.
Control! I'm stuck down on D-Wing. Open gate 13.
Number 19, MediEvil Resurrection. MediEvil Resurrection is a pseudo-remake of the original game, but with some slightly changed levels and a handful of minigames tacked on. Overall, this game looks nice, and although each of the 19 levels has a specific theme, they all carry enough of the same details to make Gallowmere feel like a cohesive fantasy world. Number 18, Tomb Raider Legend. Tomb Raider Legend follows Lara Croft as she tries to piece together the fragmented memories and knowledge of her past. If you can get past the poor controls and irritating camera, Tomb Raider Legend on the PSP offers the same fairly enjoyable experience as its PC and console counterparts. Number 17, Prince of Persia Rifle Swords. Rifle Swords is a great port of Two Thrones on the PSP and packaged with some worthwhile additions, making this the most content-laden version of them all. Despite the quirks in its presentation, Rifle Swords will have no problems pleasing fans of both Prince of Persia and action adventures. 16. Gun Showdown. One thing to note, even though this game is technically a port of the PS2 version, Showdown has received the director's cut treatment, with 5 brand new missions included into the game. Overall, Gun Showdown is a good way to get your Wild West fix anytime and anywhere. Number 15. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories is an adventure game riddled with a host of disturbing themes, from the town that most of its inhabitants are missing to the periodical scream from the icy formation. All in all, Silent Hill Shattered Memories is worthy of a closer look if you're craving a horror game.
Cheryl! Cheryl?
Number 14. Corpse Party. Corpse Party is a game that's filled with unbelievable moments and keeps your attention until the bitter end. At the same time, there are numerous ways of making a mistake and ending your game. Given the rarity of scary and shocking games, Corpse Party is once again a fresh and welcome experience. Number 13. Me and My Katamari. Just like the previous series, this game is all about collecting stuff with sticky ball that will grow larger as you collect more items. Me and My Katamari are still able to deliver fun with its great gameplay design and charming characters and art despite all the flaws it has. Number 12. Deadhead Fred. The bulk of the game focuses on the weak combat and simple navigation of areas, which is hard because it's often tough to tell where you're supposed to go. It's a shame that so many different parts of Deadhead Fred come up short, because underneath all of the mess is a really neat game with a decent sense of style. Number 11. Silent Hill Origins. Like the previous Silent Hill games, Origins is light on scares but heavy on murky atmosphere and mysterious dialogue. Fortunately, the sound design is fantastic, thanks to a terrifically disturbing soundtrack and all the menacing bump in the night echoes. Number 10. Tomb Raider Anniversary. This game is effectively the remake of the original Tomb Raider in the new console. Everything is bigger and better now, with the larger and more detailed environments and more elaborate existing puzzles. Overall, this was the best Tomb Raider game in years, and for the first time in a long time, that actually means something. Number 9. Age of Zombies. Shooting zombies has been done before, but what keeps Age of Zombies ahead of the pack is the game's graphics, humor, and gameplay, and they are all intertwined. Age of Zombies is nearly the perfect mini with clever delivery and a soundtrack full of different tracks for every time period. Number 8. LEGO Star Wars 2 The Original Trilogy. LEGO Star Wars 2 puts a greater emphasis on vehicles, with various vehicles from the series available for you to ride. The visuals have a lot of charm with that familiar LEGO-looking Star Wars characters and environment. Overall, it's a good and fun novel game. Number 7. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. Vice City Stories returns to the pastel and neon-colored excesses of the 1980s in a city modeled after 80s era Miami. It improves upon some of the flaws found in the first game, as well as a great deal more personality. In conclusion, it is certainly an enjoyable follow-up to what Liberty City Stories offered the previous year. Number 6. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops takes the series in some interesting direction from a gameplay standpoint. This game features not only a great open-ended solo campaign, but also some extensive multiplayer options and plenty of surprises. In the end, this title features some great new ideas along with a story that will have fans of the series talking for months. Number 5. God of War Ghost of Sparta. Ghost of Sparta is an impressive technical achievement that is almost indistinguishable from its PlayStation 2 brothers. This game delivers the breathtaking sense of scale for which the series is known. Aside from a few awkward moments, Ghost of Sparta is another great entry in the respected series that does justice to Kratos' deadly exploits. Number 4. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. The story missions will take about 11 hours to complete, but there's so much more to this game than just story missions. A lot of side missions are fun and diverse. Overall, it's amazing that GTA Liberty City Stories manages to cram in so much of the GTA experience that you're used to seeing on consoles. Number 3. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. This is a stealth game, and your goal is to complete the mission objective without being seen or heard. You'll take Snake through jungles and riverbeds while popping bad guys with tranquilizer darts or bullets. Overall, this game is a rare masterpiece on PSP that you have to play at least once. Number 2. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. One thing to note about GTA Chinatown Wars is that it plays slightly differently from past GTA games. GTA Chinatown Wars is simply outstanding despite being a port of a DS title. The story is great, the game itself is a blast, running drugs is a welcome addition, the new cop takedowns are cool, and there's so much to do. Number 1. God of War Chains of Olympus. God of War Chains of Olympus is a prequel to the original God of War. The control is just like the PS2 games with a few changes, which is great because you won't accidentally waste precious magic with that changes. It plays perfectly into the franchise storyline and offers up the same level of intense action as its console counterparts.
Put bullets in your guns in the hopes that maybe you get to shoot someone, huh?